Good morning, survivors. It's Angie. How are you? Today we're going to talk about something kind of funny, and it's not supposed to make you hungry. What is it? Word salad. That's right. Let's talk about it. So, the official definition of word salad is a confused or unintelligible mixture of seemingly random words and phrases, specifically in psychiatry, as a form of speech indicative of advanced schizophrenia. So, what does that have to do with narcissists? Well, let's talk about that. But first, let's have a little sip, shall we? Yum! Okay. So if you've ever been involved with a narcissist, then you might have felt like you didn't really know how to communicate. I know that I did, and quite honestly, I communicate for a living, and I'm pretty good at it. But when I was dealing with a narcissist, I was often left frustrated because of the fact that he didn't understand what I was saying to him on purpose. It was incredibly frustrating for me. And then in addition to that, there would be manipulation and crap that would lead us to word salad. So if a narcissist feels threatened or bored or frustrated or angry or tired or hungry or lazy or whatever, almost at any point in time, a narcissist will use the word salad situation in order to keep your mind, occupied, keep your mind off whatever you're trying to get done or whatever. It essentially is a conversation that goes nowhere, that wastes your time, makes you feel frustrated. They don't really say anything at all, or they say the same thing over and over again. Literally they just kind of talk at you. You feel me? Of course, before you can even respond to one conversation, there's another one happening, and that is incredibly frustrating. People, they're just kind of spinning in the conversation. So we're going to talk about a few warning signs that you're dealing with word salad and what that looks like. So you think you work something out, right? And for example, let's say that, let's use our trash example. So you told the narcissist, hey, take the trash out, would you please? And he says, oh, blah, 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 I don't want to take the trash out. And, you go back and forth, and there's all these reasons that he can't do it or she can't do it. And then, of course, there's the same old tired stuff. And, of course, any legitimate arguments that you've already made, you've recently said. And so, basically what it comes down to is that they don't, if it wasn't resolved in the way that they wanted it to be resolved, it doesn't get resolved. And then they continue with the word salad. So, all of a sudden they might change the subject, or they might start talking nonsense, or they might, not suddenly understand you when they've understood you up to this point. And every time you bring up the same issue about the trash or whatever, it's like you never even talked about it before, and suddenly you're sucked back in, and you're like, don't you remember we talked about this? And they try to make you feel crazy, high maintenance, and they'll say things like, oh my god, I'm so tired of always arguing about nothing, blah, 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 blah. And they make you feel like you're the bad one here, but that's not always the case, obviously. There's the whole, bringing up everything you've ever done in the past to upset them, right? So let's say a narcissist cheats on you, and let's say you decide that, you're not happy about that, and so you confront him or her. And then rather than actually addressing the issue and helping you to move forward with it, they will essentially bring up anything they can, whether it's the past or the current, to change the subject and make it your problem. And before you know it, you're apologizing to them. For example, if you said, why did you cheat on me? The narcissist might say, well, why don't you do the dishes anymore? Or why did you used to drink so much? Or why, remember that time that you lied to me? Remember that? Let's talk about that. They change the subject, they deflect. And then there's the condescension and the patronizing and all the good stuff like that. So almost no matter what you say, if the narcissist feels like they're threatened, that they might lose the argument or whatever, guess what? Yeah, that's right. Out comes the condescension, right? So back to the cheating example. Why did you cheat on me? You're this and that and the other, and if you ask the questions and they're legitimate questions that there aren't valid or good answers to that will, clear the narcissist of any wrongdoing, then what you've got, of course, is, the whole point of word salad, making you feel unhinged and giving them the upper hand. So the condescension, it's like they talk to you like you're a child or their employee or something, as opposed to their spouse or their equal. Then there's the projection factor. They will literally label you with the same things that they are. So for example, if they're lying to you a lot, they'll tell you you're a liar. Or if they are, stealing family money to buy gifts for some other person, they'll accuse you of that. Or if they are, sneaking around in any way, you'll be accused of that. If they're cheating, you'll be accused of that. They'll be crazy jealous. It's projection at its finest. Do all narcissists have multiple personalities? No. But narcissists are famous for being one way and then 30 seconds later being a whole other way and identifiably different than they just were. Bless you, Sophie. So for example, you might experience like the good cop, bad cop thing. You might see that if you're pulling away, they will kind of suck you back in with some hoovering or some love bombing, and then of course they'll torture you and twist everything, and essentially they just make your life a living hell. Then there's the narcissistic injury part that comes along with this. Poor narcissist. Somehow, everything's always about, oh, my ex was cheating and abusive and horrible, and anyway, there's always a sob story about the ex, and you always feel bad for the narcissist that they had to go through that hell. Of course, that cements the fact that you won't do those things, and the narcissist has just helped you decide your new personality, if that makes any sense. So yeah, with narcissists, you will find yourself explaining basic human emotions, like what it means to care about someone else, and what nice is, and what empathy looks like. That's incredibly frustrating. Word salad is kind of like gaslighting. You find the narcissist making excuses, trying to make you feel crazy, and when the conversation's over, you find yourself spinning, going, what the hell just happened here? You don't even know. So, yeah. How do you deal with narcissist word salad? It's pretty simple. It's very much like gaslighting. You deal with it by going gray rock. To remind you, gray rock is when you don't allow a narcissist to see your reaction to anything they're saying or doing, especially when it's gaslighting or word salad. So, for example, if the narcissist comes up and says, I don't know why I ever married you, you're terrible, la la la, you go, isn't that interesting? That's it. Isn't that interesting? Or, that's a very interesting perspective that you have there. Look at it like a scientist instead of like a spouse. Narcissists won't know what to do. They won't know how to handle it. And if you're lucky, they'll get bored and walk away. Here's Sophie's Tuesday tip of the day.
Be friends with people who have good discussions with you.
Very good, thank you.
Don't apologize unless you really did something wrong.
Very good, thank you. All right, I've got to get this girl off to school. We will see you later today. Well, I will, for another video. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And if you haven't had a chance yet, check out the videos I did yesterday, especially the one with the panel. And if you're interested in joining my YouTube panel, as in you would send me a YouTube video whenever I ask you a question, let me know. I'll put the link below in the description for the group. All right? As always, thanks for letting me be a part of your day and a part of your life. And hey, thanks for being a part of mine. It really does mean a lot to me. See you soon.